Alright, and welcome to segments formed by two secants, level 3. Now, in our very first example, it's asking us to find the length of CB, which you'll notice is the whole length right here. Now, speaking of the whole, remember from our previous two videos, when dealing with secants, we always need to know what is the whole length. And so ask yourself, what is 3x plus 1x? And of course that would be 4x. Now our rule for secants is we know it's always the outside secant, in this case x, times the whole secant, which in this case was that 4x, and we'll set it equal to the same thing for the bottom, our outside piece being 3, times, and when you look at this, of course we have to find the whole by adding our two segments. And so what is 3 plus 11.5? Well, that would give us the whole of 14.5. And so we can write 3 times 14.5. Now a couple things. What is 4x times x? And we know that our coefficients multiply. So 1 times 4 gives us 4. And x times x will give us x squared. And we'll set this equal to. And this is something that I would encourage you to use your calculator on. So what is 3 times 14.5? Well, that will give us 43.5. Now, a lot of students get confused here. Remember this, you always want to get rid of this coefficient before getting rid of the exponent. So we'll divide both sides by 4, and it turns out that 43.5 divided by 4 will actually give us 10.88. Now from here, how do you get rid of a square? Well, we want to take the square root. And if you're using your cell phone calculator, just turn it to the side, hit that square root button, and we'll see that x is equal to 3 point, and it actually rounds all the way up to 3.3. Now notice, that's not actually our answer, because our answer was to find the length of CB. And we could represent CB by its total length of that 4x. So we'll do CB is equal to 4 times 3.3, and once again, anything with decimals, I would encourage you to use your calculator. And so let's see. Given that we have 4 times 3.3, that would give us 13.2. And so our length would be 13.2 inches. Don't forget your units. Pause the video if you need to stop it here to finish taking the notes. And let's go ahead and move on to example 2. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at example 2. So it says this, given line segment GJ is 6.9 centimeters, which we can go ahead and write in 6.9, and JH is 8.9, so let's go ahead and write that in. JH is 8.9. GK is 3x. Okay, so we have 3x. And lastly, it says that GF, let's see, GF, oh, okay. That entire thing is going to be 7x. Find the length of KF. Now, notice in this case they were kind of generous. They actually did give us the whole length. So if we want to look at this bottom secant first, we know that it's the outside, which will be 3x, times the whole, which in this case was 7x. So here it was kind of easy, we didn't have to add anything, is equal to, and on the top though, we have GJ, the outside part, 6.9 times, but don't forget, you do need to know what is that entire thing right there, and so we will have to add those two numbers together. So, using our calculator, it turns out that 6.9 plus 8.9 will in fact give us 15.8. Now from here, let's go ahead and do a little math. We know that 3 times 7 will give us 21, and x times x will of course be x squared. And we can set this equal to, now on this side I would definitely use my calculator. We know that 6.9 times 15.8 will give us 109.02. From there, we're just going to follow the basic rules of algebra. We want to start by dividing by our coefficient on both sides. And so we'll get x squared equals, And 109.02 divided by 21 will in fact give us 5.19. Now from here, just in our previous videos, to get rid of the square, we know we want to take the square root of both sides. And it turns out that the square root of 5.19 will be roughly 2.28. Now once again, we're asking ourselves, what are we trying to find here? And in this particular case, let me switch it up. We'll do a different color here. We're trying to find KF. So ask yourself, if this whole thing is 7x and this piece is 3x, well, 7x minus 3x will of course give us 4x. So for KF, we know that's equal to 4x, and when we substitute in our x value, 4 times 2.28, we can find our final answer, which will be, when you multiply that by 4, roughly 9.11. And don't forget that our length here is in centimeters, so don't forget your units. Alright, I hope this helps, and good luck.